and welcome to Nan Loves Food. I am Ann here today with a much requested video on one of my favorite kitchen appliances, the Instant Pot. I know a lot of people are scared and intimidated by this device, and I totally get it. I was at first too. I've had an Instant Pot for almost 4 years now, and it is hands down one of my absolute favorite kitchen appliances. And I know some of you out there are scared and intimidated by it, and that's totally fine. It's totally cool. So I went out to the social medias and I asked what you are scared of. What is intimidating? What do you find hard? Why do you find this to be a problem? Because I wanted to make sure to address your concerns. By the way, if you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. And there were a couple of things, a couple of themes that came up over and over again. And the first one I just want to get addressed right off the bat. Will it explode? And the answer is probably not. You know, obviously I can't guarantee anything that's gonna happen with your kitchen appliances, but I will say that the company Instant Pot has put a ton of safety features into this thing. I actually did some extensive research on the topic, and I will link one of my favorite articles below that talks all about the safety features. But at the end of the day, they kind of made this thing idiot proof in terms of safety. So when it is locked, when there is pressure built up inside, it is nearly impossible to open, which is when a lot of the pressure cooking mishaps from the past had happened, pre-Instant Pot days. So certainly I was raised by a mother who was intimidated by a pressure cooker, and I know a lot of people still carry that forward, but in today's day and age, we no longer have to be afraid of that exploding. And if that's your fear, if that's what you're concerned about, I do recommend that you go ahead and read that article that I'll link below, just to ease those fears. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it, you can take theirs, but really, 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 really unlikely that it's going to explode on you. The next thing that people find intimidating is all of these buttons. I get it, there's so many buttons on here, but the good news is you really only need about 3 of them to get a ton of value out of this kitchen appliance. And to be honest, as a pro here, somebody who uses this all the time, I use about 3 of the buttons, maybe 4. Instant Pot made some questionable marketing decisions when putting this device together, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about. The buttons are one of those things. So with the buttons, one of the things that's really confusing to people who are new to using an Instant Pot is there are actually different editions, different models of the Instant Pot that have different buttons that mean the same thing, which is super confusing. But pressure cook and manual are the same thing, and that is the button that I use 90% of the time when I'm using my Instant Pot. So if you see a recipe online that says manual or pressure cook, same thing. Just know that, figure out which button yours has. It has one or the other, and it's all the same. The other questionable thing that Instant Pot did is they named it an Instant Pot, which, by the way, it is Instant Pot, not Insta Pot. Little pet peeve of mine, but we're all friends here, it's fine. So it gives people the impression when you name something instant that things happen very, very quickly. And that's not necessarily the case. It's certainly a lot faster than your average slow cooker, which is great, but a slow cooker is meant to be cooked slow. So it's kind of confusing, the whole naming thing. So I think it's best to just call them a pressure cooker because that's what it does. And if you think about it being a pressure cooker, that emphasizes what's great about the Instant Pot, not that it's instant. So the reason it's not instant, and the reason that the recipes that you'll see online can be confusing, is because it'll say something like rice takes 12 minutes or eggs take 5 minutes. And that is true in terms of what you need to program your machine to do. However, it's gonna take a lot longer than 5 minutes or 12 minutes to get your item cooked. And that is because it has to come to pressure before that countdown starts. So I know that's a huge frustration when people get started because they think, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna have this in 5 minutes. And you won't. It'll probably take, depending on how much water and, you know, all the different factors going on inside of your device, it could take 20 minutes for your 5-minute item to cook. And that can be super frustrating. So just know going in, there is a learning curve here. And it's okay, but I promise it's a little bit to learn, but it is so, so, so worth it. So let's talk about why. So there are three main things that I absolutely love to do in my Instant Pot. Any type of meat that you would want to cook low and slow is perfect for your Instant Pot. So I'm talking pork shoulder. I'm talking chuck roast, like a pot roast situation. Anything that's got a lot of fattiness to it, the pressure cooker is just going to pressurize all of that goodness and make your meat so tender and so delicious, and you will absolutely love it. So roasts are absolutely hands down the top thing that I cook in my Instant Pot. It's also awesome for like soups and stews. And one of the very, very best features about an Instant Pot versus a lot of other kitchen appliances, especially your slow cooker, is that Instant Pot has a saute button. And what the saute button does is it allows you to brown your meat or your protein or your onions and garlic. You can saute those before you get started cooking. So one of the things that made pressure cooking not that great in the past, or one of the things that makes slow cooking not that great, is that you lose that Maillard reaction, which is when that stuff gets brown and crispy. So whether that's like you're searing a steak and you get that brown and crunchy bits, or you're searing your pot roast and you're getting the brown and crunchy bits, or you're sauteing your onion, you're getting the releasing of all that goodness into the food. You miss that with your average slow cooker. Now, I do have a slow cooker that has a saute function. I bought that for a reason, but your average slow cooker does not. So the Instant Pot gives me the ability to brown my ground beef before I get started. So I will often do a big bunch of ground beef in here and then have that on hand for meal prep, which is amazing. We can also do that with roasts, and it just gets the most flavor out of your food. Also doing that saute before you do your soups, so getting that onion and garlic good and brown, it's amazing. So that's number two, the ability to saute before you get started. The saute function also gives you the ability to do a one pot meal. Now, generally I am kind of opposed to the one pot meal because everything kind of ends up with the same texture, and usually it's not a terribly pleasant one. You know, if you throw like rice and chicken and broccoli into a slow cooker all together at one time, you kind of end up with this gray, gummy mass. Not what we're going for. However, with the Instant Pot, because I can saute, let's say, ground beef or ground sausage, put that just all in my one pot, because I can do that, then I can pour in some chicken broth, I can add in some pasta, I can add in some pasta sauce, put it all together, and voila, we have a legitimate one pot meal, which is amazing. It does great for pasta. The only thing that you wanna know if you're cooking pasta is you need to leave a lot more room than you think you do. So this little 3-quart guy, which I have 3 Instant Pots. This is the little guy of the family. I never cook pasta in the 3-quart because you do not wanna fill this thing more than like a third full with pasta. So in here, this is the Instant Pot inside the pot, and yes, I use it all the time, and it looks like it. This is your max fill line. You do not want to go more than like a third. So if you're trying to do a 16-ounce box of pasta, this is not your guy. You definitely want more room than that. So definitely go to a 6-quart or an 8-quart for a 16-ounce box of pasta. Why that is true is because the pasta will release starch into the cooking water, right? Like regular pasta would on the stove. The difference is that when it releases that starch, it's shut in there and it goes under pressure, right? Because it builds up that pressure to cook. And if you do not have enough room, you'll get that serious starchy water and it will want to come out of the top of your Instant Pot, and that is bad news bears. Trust me, from somebody who's done this more than one time, don't do that because your kitchen will be a mess. This thing will spew starchy water everywhere and it's kind of gross. So just only fill this up about a third of the way when you're going for like starchy products like pasta. The main thing that makes this my absolute favorite kitchen appliance is the ability to put the food in and walk away. Now, here at Nan Loves Food, we are all about getting the most delicious, cost-effective, healthy food, healthy-ish food on the table with the absolute least amount of work. That's what we're all about here. So if you're into that sort of thing, highly recommend you hit that subscribe button, because I just want really, really good quality weeknight meals that don't require a lot of fuss. And the Instant Pot is perfect for that. And that is why people evangelize this appliance. That's why people are screaming from the rooftops, the Instant Pot is the greatest thing ever. It's because I can put my chicken in here, set it for 12 minutes, leave my house or not. I'm sure they'll tell you not to leave your house on the official website, so you didn't get that advice from me. But, you know, go walk the dog, go play in the yard, go pick up whatever, go sit on my butt and have a glass of wine. Whatever the thing is, it's not in my kitchen cooking. However, when I'm done, I know that I have the highest quality food available. So to walk in here, you know, after a long day at work, pop a couple of chicken breasts in there, a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of liquid, and know that I'm gonna come back to perfectly cooked chicken every single time is worth its weight in gold. So whether you're doing that as a meal prep so that you can have, you know, your chicken for the week cooked, or your rice for the week cooked, or your quinoa for the week cooked, whatever you're doing, you don't have to focus on this. There is no standing and stirring over a stove, which for weeknight meals is ideal. This honestly makes amazing pasta sauce. Another one of those things that you'd have to sit there and stir and stir and stir and stir. With this, you don't have to, and it is such a relief. So that's why I love the Instant Pot so much, because it lets me put my attention elsewhere and still provides an amazing, delicious meal that just doesn't require too much fuss. So I hope that has given you some inspiration. I do really love this thing. I'm going to do an Instant Pot Basics series on this channel. So we're gonna talk about the things that I absolutely love to do, the things that I think this is ideal for. A lot of people will tell you that the Instant Pot will replace your entire kitchen, and that is nonsense. There is no such thing as one appliance that will replace an entire kitchen. And if you're looking to do that, you're probably gonna end up with some nasty food, because there's a reason that we have different techniques for different types of food. But I wanna show you why this is my best friend in the kitchen. Absolutely my best friend. We're gonna talk about all the buttons. We're gonna talk about how they work. We're gonna talk about why they work the way they work. And if you want, I will have a link down below for a freebie that you can print out that has all of my favorite things to cook in the Instant Pot, along with cooking times. So my intention with that is that you can just print it out, slap it on your fridge, laminate it if you want to, but that way you will not have to Google every time you want to do something. I still have things where I'm like, ugh, how long do I cook baby back ribs in the Instant Pot? Like, I don't necessarily remember these things all the time. I have things going on in my brain that are not cooking related. So that way you just have a quick reference guide. You can slap it on the fridge. All you have to do is put your email in down below, and we will get you a copy of that to use for your household. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give us a thumbs up. If there are any questions or things you would like me to address in the upcoming Instant Pot Basics series, let me know. I'm super excited to get this started, because I know that if you can get past the fear, move past the intimidation, you will end up loving your Instant Pot if you end up using it. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for making it to the end. I will see you in the next video. Bye.